What is going on, guys? Jason Burke here, Styles Clash for Life, coming at you on YouTube. And today I've got another edition of The Drive-In, where I watch recently released films and tell you guys whether they're worth watching, worth waiting for, or worth skipping altogether. Tonight I'm doing something on this channel that I have not done, I think, only once ever in the history of this channel, and that is covering a short film. Why am I covering a short film? It's a Friday the 13th film. Kind of. So, long story short, there's this new thing called Jason Universe. Most of you guys watching this channel will know what it is already. If you don't, here's kind of my quick version of what's happening, trying to catch you guys up here as succinctly and earnestly as possible. So basically, long story short, New Line Cinema, series director, creator Sean Cunningham, and writer Victor Miller all have different parts and own different trademarks in the Friday the 13th franchise. So they've been stuck in this lawsuit for the past, 16 years now, that has enabled us from getting a lot of new content. They're fighting over money and control, and mostly money. But it's been a lawsuit that's been hung up in court for a long, long time now, and we as Friday the 13th fans are pretty sad about it. Finally, it seems they've come to some sort of an impasse where they're able to sublet or share the money somehow or create new content in some degree. That content is coming out right now in terms of what's called Jason Universe, because they can't still call it Friday the 13th. So it's Jason Universe, and that has been coming out in terms of like Halloween Horror Nights has new merch, they've got a new logo and a new mask, they've got this new branding under Jason Universe, they've got Angry Orchard has blood orange cider of Jason Voorhees, you got the Peacock series coming out, the Peacock prequel that's coming out, and now there's a short film. It's called Jason Universe Sweet Revenge. It is a 2025 short film and came out yesterday as I'm dropping this recording. It's been out for 24 hours, free on YouTube. Go check it out on YouTube right now. It's totally free. It's a short film that runs 15 minutes and 27 seconds, and therefore, because it is brand new, I won't be doing any spoilers, but I'll talk about the film real quick and tell you guys kind of the positives and negatives. I just watched it, and here we go. Sweet Revenge, the Jason Universe Sweet Revenge 2025 short film is written and directed by Mike P. Nelson, and it stars Ali Ionides as Eve and Skylar White as Jason. The plot for this, stop me if you've heard this before. A bunch of campers go to camp because they want to hang out for the weekend and party and drink and have fun, but it's Camp Crystal Lake, and so one by one the campers start dying because Jason's going on a spree. If that sounds pretty bland and familiar to you, then you've seen it before. Yeah, that's pretty much the plot of 1 through 8 plus the remake. It's really bland. The characters are bland, and let's talk about it. So, positives. Let's start with the positives, as always here. First movie in 16 years. I know this is kind of a new regime. I know that it's a short film. I know that it's, nothing special and nothing revolutionary as a movie, but it is the first time in 16 years we've gotten a Jason-branded, kind of more official something, even though it's a YouTube movie. Times are changing. You never expected to see a Jason movie free on YouTube as a new release, but here we are. Yeah, it's different, it's short, doesn't feel officially like Jason, but it's as close as we've gotten for 16 years, so there's a positive. Location. The whole feel of this film, from location to cinematography, does feel in part like a Jason movie. This does feel like Friday the 13th in the fact that they got somewhat similar looking thing to Crystal Lake and a campground that looks kind of similar. And you've got an older camp character that saved the camp in the first place. That feels like Jason. There's a Crystal Lake sign in the movie that kind of gives a nod to the original Jason. They kind of nailed that. So the location overall and the environment for this short film, it's shot competently. It's shot pretty professional for a short film, and the location does feel like you're watching a Friday the 13th movie, albeit a short version on YouTube. Soundtrack, same thing. You get some of the Harry Manfredini soundtrack type stuff. I don't think he worked on it, but the two composers that worked on the score for this did use a lot of the same beats that you hear in the previous Friday movies. So again, a lot of the YouTube free, royalty free movies use these kind of tracks, but this one felt pretty good. You had some of the similar beats and sounds that you have in the final act of a Jason movie. Gore, being that this was a YouTube movie, they did a little more with the gore. There's not as many restrictions when you're just doing stuff for YouTube. And the gore they showed was pretty good. They cut away at the right times, but they did linger on some things. We saw some cuts, some body parts. We saw some pretty good some of the old standard body pile-ups at the end of movies, but this time they lingered on the shots more and showed more gore, so that's a positive as well. Now for the negatives. Jason himself. I didn't like the guy playing Jason. His economy of movement wasn't bad. He didn't move unlike a Jason character, but the combination of the new mask and the actor being really he was tall, but he was kind of slender. He didn't feel beefy. Jason feels like a really big, staunch, paunchy kind of a guy. He's not, paunchy is the wrong word, but like big and wide, full of muscle. The Kane Hodder archetype, some of the classic Jasons, even Ted White was a bigger guy at that time. Kane obviously is the main one. CJ Graham is a great example of a big beefy Jason. This guy had some height, but he just didn't feel like Jason. The mask doesn't look right, and the guy's build didn't look right. So some of the shots where they lingered on him didn't look very good, to be honest. That being said, the overall attire wasn't bad. Didn't like the actor, didn't like the mask overall, but the rest of it was okay. No real characters. Again, there's not really many real characters in regular full-length Jason movies, let alone a 15-minute short film. The movie itself ran 13 minutes, get it? Friday the 13th, plus 2 minutes of credits and branding and stuff. So yeah, 15:27 total, 13 minutes of movie. You're not going to get much time for any character fleshing out or any real reason for being there. But again, in most of the features, you don't get that either. But I wish they had done a little more with the time they had, to be honest. That being said, it's a 2-character film. It's basically Ali Ionides playing Eve, the main girl in the movie, and Skylar White playing Jason trying to kill everyone. That's pretty much it. That's all you get. And then this one I have to kind of beat around the bush because it has to do with kind of the second act and the ending. Zombie cursed lake girl thing is what I wrote down. I'm going to stick with that. That's a big old negative. They did try to do something with one character in this movie. There was one character that it kind of makes you guess when you're watching the movie. And again, I probably could give this away because the movie's free on YouTube to go watch, right? But they tried to do something a little bit different with one of the characters in the movie. And whether it's just a survival instinct that she has, or whether it's some kind of zombification that she has, or whether it's some kind of curse that she has, whether Jason has passed himself off, maybe, like in Jason Goes to Hell, or there's some kind of curse, like at the end of Part 5 with Tommy, or if it's some kind of dream sequence, like with Trisha's mom in Part 4. I don't know what they're going for here. It's something different, where it could be a foe to Jason, it could be a friend to Jason, it could be an equal to Jason, like Tina in Part 7. I don't know what they're trying to call back to or create here. Whatever it is, I don't think I like it. I'm going to wait and see how they flesh it out. I'm sure this is the first of many short films. If this thing does well, I'm sure they'll do more. I imagine it's going to get a lot of views. Right now, it's only at 91,000 for a day, which is kind of feels low to me for fans waiting for this for 16 years. That being said, kudos to them to try and do something a little bit different. But the negative side of that is you only really give one character any time to do something different, and the thing you do doesn't feel authentic to the lore of the previous films. If you want to add on stuff and you want to stretch the boundary of what you've already done and use what you've created to build something unique that fits in with what you've done, then I am all for that. I love taking chances, especially after we've seen so many of these movies now. But if you're going to start changing the lore and retconning the lore and doing things that feel non-canon, I don't like it. I'm not going to complain because we're getting new Jason content and it's going to lead to more. And I'm going to watch it all like the fool that I am. But the one new thing they tried to do character-wise was not personally in my wheelhouse or my Jason wish list. And finally, Angry Orchard. This felt like a commercial for Angry Orchard at points. They made it a point to put that up there. Angry Orchard produced this movie, or produced or presented or whatever, was affiliated with. Obviously, there are Blood Orange, Angry Orchard, Jason-themed ciders you can buy now. I'm not a cider person. I don't like Angry Orchard. Too sweet for me. I'm a beer guy, but I will try it because Jason's mask is on the bottle, like the fool that I am. But I don't know. It seemed like Angry Orchard was shoved down our throats here, so not a fan of that either. Overall, it's hard to score a short film. I usually give these ratings at the end, and it's hard to rate a short film whenever it's like something brand new, but also tethers to a long-time 13-movie franchise. but also it's only a short film, so it's really hard to score this. I guess I'll say 6 out of 10 because it's a really short watch, and it's got Jason, and it's got elements, like I said, of soundtrack, gore, location, somewhat of the look. It's got a lot of similar Jason things to it. So if you would want to just watch a quick 15-minute Jason movie that's free on YouTube, it's fast-paced, it's not going to waste your time, and there's going to be stuff in it that you're going to like if you like some of the standard old Jason films. That being said, you're going to ask yourself, what are they doing with certain aspects of it, and what's the point of making this, is one of the questions you might ask yourself as you watch this movie. So I'll give it a 6 out of 10, better than average, easy, fast watch, and I'll watch the next one. So glad we're getting new content nonetheless. Don't know if I love this one here, but it's something. It's better than, 16 years or nothing. So there it is. Tell me in the comments down below if you haven't seen it or if you have seen it. And if you have, let's talk about it. It's on YouTube right now. So finish this video up as I say goodbye. Go watch that video and come back and comment on this video and let's talk about it. Take care, guys. Stay scared, and I'll see you guys real soon.